And greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. Thank you for joining me again on another conscious evolution, another opportunity for us to discuss the integrity of humanity. Yes, this is a title inspired by Joe this morning. We've been talking about alien stuff. Yesterday, me and her watched S4, the Bob Lazar documentary that came out in 2026. And it's pretty wild. It's pretty cool. I loved it so much. I want to believe everything he says, but I don't. Nope. I'm pretty convinced that all of the things that I learned. Hey, Shantae. Welcome, friend. I'm pretty sure that all of the things I learned is just propagandas. Yes. Propaganders. It's probably some propaganda. All right. Wanting me to believe that, in fact, the aliens are on what? Reticuli 4. Don't believe it. Don't think the aliens are out there on planets. Pretty sure the aliens are multidimensional beings that build robots and then send those robots to come and spy on us. And that's what we found. I'm still convinced that our transistors was discovered. Like, they did start to disassemble all of that stuff. They did, like, apparently X-ray scan that stuff, so they probably were electron microscope scanning that things as well. And then they probably found what we now know as transistors and started building our own. And it's as you said, like, as soon as we got it, we got these things, right? Like, it happened quick. But figuring out the rest of it is the program. That's the hard part. That's some hair. Yeah. It was pretty fun, nonetheless. I bumped my toe on a table.
I bumped my table on a toe.
You should light that table on fire while it's still inside your...
Get a new table.
You should not say stuff like that. You should not do that.
You have an anti-gravity table, so it doesn't have any legs.
Yes. You should activate anti-gravity on your table so that when your toe goes to bump it, it like repels it. Boom.
If it's got no legs, it's got no bumped toes.
Boom, yeah. Doesn't need any legs. Just have it float
Matter of fact,
2 inches off the ground. All of us should just levitate, actually. We should maybe like start humming and oming and then floating. Yes. Are you on your way?
That's what that hug was.
Oh, my heart. I love you. My wife be going to her workplace again. Yes, I stubbed my toes too, and they're bruised. Fuck my life. Oh my goodness. Joe also has bruises. Not mine. I am innocent. She got bit by the parrot. She showed me her bruise yesterday. I can literally see the 2 bite marks and then the blue that's underneath it. I am alien man. I am also an alien man. Man? Or are you alien? No. Love is true. Light it on fire. Light it on fire, lol. I'm happy that you appreciate my off the cuff too much of a response. Appreciate it, Christy. It's nice having you, Veer. Yes, I am in fact Nick Jones from the Jonas Brothers. Yep, I'm doing live streams now. Renamed myself. De-aged just a little bit, and now I'm here talking about stuff. Aliens, specifically today. I had dreams about trying to build alien technology. And I failed. I could not, for some reason, do it. Big surprise. However, I did come to a revelation last night as I was fighting in my dreams with this inability to duplicate alien technology. I came to the conclusion that you are the UFO. Yes. That your body is like a spaceship to consciousness. And I came to this conclusion because I was like actively involved, working on like technology in this dream. And then I was like getting frustrated because I couldn't travel with it. I could build it, or I could like make something, but I couldn't make the something move me, right? And then, almost like from that frustration, I woke up and then I was somewhere else. And I was like, did I just move? Is that, did what happen is what happening is? I am a planet, not joking. I've had that experience too. When I do my gateway process hemisync tapes, when I go into focus 12, I expand my consciousness usually to encapsulate the entire Earth as well. And then I exist as Earth. I just float out there in space, like, pretty neat. It's very peaceful. Yo, what's up, dude? Hey, Vibi Hootie. It's nice having you here too. What's up with you? Thank you for joining us, dear friend. Sending you big love. Yeah, my toe still hurts. I hope you recover quick, dear friend. It'll take a few days. Mine don't hurt anymore, but it's still bruised. Good morning, folks. What are we? Notice this topic. Oh, so we're having a theoretical discussion today. Yes, humanity has integrity, of course. I'm sure that if aliens descended on us right now and was like, hey, average humanity person, would you betray your entire species for this little trinket? I'm sure that nobody would take up that offer. I'm so sure about it. Theoretically, of course. Yeah. I think we're gonna see some whack shiznit in our lifetimes. It is accelerating. The level of wackiness is not decreasing, I've noticed. It seems like there is just layers upon layers of more wackiness. Definitely has been an experience. I am priding myself in remaining stable. Maybe you could let me know even how you feel about that. Right. I have seen a great deal of friends lose their minds. But again, losing the mind seems to be entertaining. So I don't know how much of the people that I have been paying attention to losing their minds are actually losing their minds or are pretending to lose their minds. Right? And on that note, is it better to pretend you haven't? I don't think it's better for content, technically speaking. But I do believe it's maybe better for the watcher, right? That even if you're pretending to have lost your mind and you are doing it purely to entertain your audience, do they lose their minds a little bit watching you? I'm thinking about, like, for example, Monk Life. Some of you friends might know Monk Life, right? He started streaming around the same time that I started streaming. I think he was technically creating content just before, but he started doing like proper live streams when there was an RPAN. An RPAN was a signal amplifier. Oh my goodness. Did my signal get amplified? I managed to reach 660,000 people on a single live stream on one of those days. 7,000 concurrent watchers. Had something like 7,000 something like comments in that one live stream. So much signal boost, right? And then RPAN died, and we continued. And there's so many different people that did continue. Some of them made it. I'm thinking about like Office Drummer. Office Drummer blew up. He's doing well right now. But it is an outlier, right? And there is a kind of losing your mindedness that comes with throwing yourself against the wall and not sticking. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's important for me to not. lose my mind. And then at the same time, I am privy to information. I don't think privy is the right word. Exposed to information that does seem to be dysregulating, right? Where it's like, how are you supposed to keep it together when so much whack shit is happening at all times? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Not joking. I need to go talk to my boyfriend. Sorry, guys. You don't need to tell us, Shante, or apologize for living your life, dear friend. My son left me for the moon. You poor thing. Cool shirt. Thanks. Yo, what's up? Adam Adamson joining us too. Humans are always invading Earth. Lama. Yeah, that might be the wild part of it. It might be us invading ourselves. Just passing through. Have a great day. Thank you, Bishop. Do you guys think alien exists? I am convinced. I am not convinced they're little gray men. No. But I am convinced that there are such a thing as alien intelligence. Right? There's definitely alien technology. Stuff that we can't fathom. Stuff that we do not understand properly. Right? That I think is clear. There's a lot of people that have stuff out there in the world right now. The US government is probably one of the biggest ones. The Russian government probably too. I'm half Leronian. Got a problem with it? No problems here. I can tell bro likes Trump. You are mistaken, dear friend. I do not like any political activist, or I don't think activist is the right word, political leaders. I don't think you can be a good person and a president at the same time necessarily. I am yet to meet or see a president that is just like a stand-up person at all times. I'm sure there were presidents back in the day, but the current political climate is, how do you say, abrasive. I think that's best. Wackiness levels are rising, Sergio. Rapidly rising. It's almost like we're just like getting drowned in information at the same time. Probably because the actual information is even more stark, potentially terrifying than we can even imagine. If aliens descend upon the earth today, the internet would be full of new cooking blogs tomorrow. No, please. No, please. Aliens, I promise I won't eat any of you. I'm one of the nice guys, okay? I'm nice. I don't want to eat aliens. I like eating chicken. He's like, bro, I'm half chicken, one of the aliens. And I'm like, well, ignore what I just said. Maybe I do. Humans have no integrity, just a socio-religious expectation to not be complete assholes. Yeah, under pressure. Thank you, Sam, for keeping the messages fine. Hi, guys. I'm Viputi Mathur from Jaipur, Rajasthan, from a small village in a Gumar dancer folk dance of Rajasthan. I wanted to take the culture out of India and respect and represent in many countries. That's awesome. Do you create content? If you do, or if you don't, I hope that the content you create is of your traditional dances. I love dance. So make content of you dancing, right? Every time you go to a place where you dance, ask all of the people there if they'd be okay with having a little camera on the sideline, and then you dance, dude. You dance. BSF joining us as well. Good morning. Your hair is like noodles. Yeah. Delicious. Thanks. Appreciate it. Very nice of you to say. Speaking of aliens, I had a wild dream before when I was with my ex. I entered a spaceship and battled aliens, and I went to their leader, and it was a man on a throne in a room filled with cats. I wouldn't be surprised I'm sure there is an alien like that as well. Aliens absolutely exist, Kirsty. We got the card here. I was at work and I had a notebook for my dreams, and two customers asked what I was writing, and they asked, "Is your boyfriend gay?" That's kind of funny. With the room full of cats, checks out as well. Where are you from? I'm from South Africa. Thank you for joining us from Punjab, India, dear friend. Damn, son. Yeah, pickle. This. How are you? I'm doing good. Where'd you find this? You found me. Morning to you too, Darren. It's nice having you here, friend. Yeah. Yeah. We do live in a wacky world. The wackiness will only increase. Intelligence is actively increasing. Please talk slowly. How much slower do you need me to speak? Are you Mexican? No. Hi from Barbara. So many friends from so many places in the world. Thank you for letting me know where you're from. I'm originally from South Africa, and I live in the United States of America right now. Yeah. Indiana. You speak very well. Thank you. I am learn. I was about to say, you're gonna get wrecked. And then you did. Suddenly you cease to exist. Love you. Sanji. Thank you. It's nice of you to say. Is your name the anime character from One Piece? Sanji is one of my favorites too. Indiana, yeah. Indiana has a vibe. Yeah. There's a lot happening in chat. I'm wearing my t-shirt from Paris. Nice. From a trip that you went on. Looking handsome. Thank you. Thanks. Yeah, hey. Hi. I need to compartmentalize. Right? Put this part of my mind over here. And then I need to open a new instance of brain. Yeah, okay. In this instance of brain, we're going to talk about the integrity of humanity. There definitely is a little bit of almost like cosmic battle happening in my mind, where the amount of information that we are being kind of like exposed to, and like that, I'm thinking about it almost like in the nature of these live streams, where I feel, especially since I came to America, my appearance has been made way more, I don't want to use the word important, but maybe been made way more apparent, right? It's like it's not something that people can not think about. And the big thing that I don't know when these comments are coming through is if it's exclusively children, right? Like kids or teenagers that in their world are almost like being trained to exclusively be obsessed with appearance alone, or if it's, all ages. And then in that way, right, like this informational set of the way that I look like is the literal surface layer of my existence. Right? Like this is just a layer that is around me. But there is depth to the human experience that I don't think can be encapsulated in looks alone. And how I look alone is not all that I am. But I am almost like tuned, right? Thinking about it like a signal to think about it more than I want to. And I have been mindful, right? I now make extra sure that my hair looks presentable. Because goodness, if I don't, I'll hear it even more. Or at the very least, if I do, I get to almost like show up from a place of confidence. And I'm saying all of these things as it remains, or as it relates, I think is the better terminology, a matter of integrity. It's like, what is our integrity? What brings integrity to humanity? I don't think hair hair and face is the only thing that brings integrity into a space. This space is one that I have been creating every single day. Thank you, Christy. I appreciate it. I've been creating this space every single day for thousands of days. I'm hitting my thousands very soon. It's going to be 2,000 days of continuously creating this space very soon. Right? And I've had many different hair at this point. Right? And it's never something people haven't mentioned in my life. It's either hair or dimples. Right? Since I was a little kid, women will put their fucking fingers in my face. And I am on the spectrum. So I've never appreciated people touching me without my consent. Right? In fact, it makes me want to do fucking barrel rolls. You know, want to like start floating, and then start doing barrel rolls. It's like how much of my mind has been tuned. Again, signal, right? Like the signal keeps getting sent that this is important. This is something you're supposed to think about. And I don't know if there's a way for me to detune, all right? Especially not so for others. What words can I say? What information can I convey to you that makes you stop caring? And again, if I looked differently, if I was societally or conventionally ugly, you would be unwilling to hear me even if I did have something to say. Or maybe if I was conventionally ugly, you would listen to me in a different kind of capacity, right? If I was very ugly and I wore my nerdy glasses and I was like, yeah, I'm actually a scientist, you know, maybe you would respect me more. But it is a matter of like, again, what is our integrity as a species? What is humanity's integrity? Right? If the aliens came here and all mugged us, all of the aliens are super hot, we would be like them more. If the aliens are very ugly, disgusting to look at, are we going to try and kill them for it? Probably. Probably. Knowing humans, we're going to be like, oh, these aliens suck. I don't want to clap this alien ass. I'm so sorry. What are you drinking? No. Alcohol is really bad for you. Like, really bad for you. Like, the science is very clear that alcohol is one of the worst things you can drink. I actually had this whole conversation with myself this morning where I'd rather drink the, like, wiper fluid. You know, I'd, like, siphon a car's wiper fluid before I drink alcohol. You are aliens, maybe. Maybe I am aliens. Maybe I am. Why are you in Indiana? I am married to a girl that lives here. Why are you dressed like a guru from Walmart? Because that's exactly what I am. Oh, I'm Walmart guru. You know, America needs. America, not the guru America needs, but the guru America deserves. Yeah, exactly. Walmart guruing. Where are you from, bro? I'm from South Africa. What brings you to Indiana? I got married. I got married to a girl that lives here. You were from Indianapolis? No. I'm living in like in this small little, I don't even know what to call it, like little vacation town. It's a cute little place. Do you have friends in Indiana? Some. Not a lot, but I'm growing my friend group. Integrity is what you do when people aren't looking. Now we're talking, Sergio. There we go. Yeah, that's good stuff. Integrity is what you do when nobody is looking. I like that a lot. Maybe that is the thing that I'm worried about, right? Because there's like a whole thought experiment going through the internet again right now of like if every single person was put in a room and they had two buttons in front of them, and those buttons go, if you hit the red button, you survive automatically. Where if you hit the blue button, and more than 50% of people hit the blue button, everyone survives. Right? That's the whole integrity question made very stark. Where the kind of person would hit the red button to ensure their own survival, in a way, has a kind of integrity in themselves, right? Believing in their own integrity, in their own goodness, in their own life enough to want to ensure the absolute survival thereof. And then there is the other side of it, right? The integrity that is our whole humanity's collective fate. And yeah, it's definitely a hard one. It's a hard one to think about it. If that experiment ever had to arise, we'd probably lose the best of us. We'd only keep the selfish people and lose all of the ones that are not selfish, which is horrible. I am a developer by any chance. Do you want any sort of website or landing page? I do have a domain, and it probably would be helpful, but I don't got any cash to. I ain't got any no cash to pay you as a developer. Developers deserve, I believe, even. I was gonna say demand, but deserve a high income. Howdy, y'all crazy cool kids. Hello, Angry Otter. Welcome, friend. We got Guara saying hello, bro. Where are you from? Where? So many. Where are you froms? I need to probably like put it in the title or like put it here. I am from Africa. Africa person. Here. Make from Africa's. Hello from India. Hello to you. But the dimples are so cute. Don't call me cute, Angry Otter. I'm handsome, okay? I'm handsome man, strong mode 5000. Alright. Don't aren't you? I'm joking, of course. Hello. Very wise and thoughtful perspective. True. Society judges people largely because of how someone looks, and they don't give more importance to other important characteristics. It's unfortunate but true. It is unfortunate but true. But again, I'm like trying to figure out if there's something that I can do. Is there something I can do? Right? Like legitimately. I don't know. I think that might be the hardest problem we might be facing. Like we are facing so many layers of problems, right? What is that? What is that Bo Burnham line? It's like, yeah, income inequality. The other stuff. Yeah, facing these problems, right? And I think the underlying problem is the fact that we are stuck on the surface. We are so stuck on the surface of what these things are that we're not even willing to look just like one sliver deeper. And I think that's the biggest challenge that we're facing right now as a species is what comes next? What comes next? Do we all have to become beautiful for us to evolve? Do we have to cease to be ourselves? Do we have to integrate ourselves into the computers so much that we can customize our avatars so that everybody looks exactly the way they want to look at all times? Like a crystallized, like I can, like through digital effort, sculpt my hair so it always stays right there, right? Doesn't listen to gravity, right? Then maybe we could evolve past the vapid physical nature of ourselves. I have this whole perspective that we're probably going to end up creating even more layers of potential judgment, right? Where I imagine that the thing that I'll become is going to be even more, I don't want to use the word aesthetic, but almost like visually appealing, right? Where I can almost like create secondary layers to myself that have like opacity differences to this normal reality. And then this layer has like a little point here. And then that point comes out in all of different directions to make like little sparkies, right? And then as I move, these little sparkies will move with me. And it will be fun to look at, but it will be so distracting. It will be so very distracting. Are we all distracted? Has society conditioned us to prioritize aesthetics over everything else because it's the most convincing distraction, right? Keeps us rooted in our bottom parts of self, right? In the base of like, you are on planet Earth, you have sexuality, you have willpower, right? And then it's only those things. Don't think about heart, Don't think about your voice. Don't think about your third eye or your connection to reality. Think about these things. Stay down here. Hey, stay down. Hey, whoa. Hey, where are you going? Don't love people just for because. Don't do that. Love them because they are sexual or be able to sexualized. We need more yoga. I think that's what it is. I think we need more yoga, people. Everybody needs to start doing more yoga about it. Right? Because again, I've seen people do crazy things in yoga. Right? Not from the perspective of like impressive yoga poses, but that a body, no matter what it looks like, is capable of practicing. That there is still the experience to be elicited from it. And maybe if we can get really good at that, get really aware of our own bodies, of our own strength, of our own capabilities, maybe then we'll have more capacity to appreciate other people's experiences, right? Be more compassionate towards them potentially. Hi from Philippines. Hello to you. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Talking Hindi, we don't understand English. That's too bad, bro. I don't know how to talk Hindi. I can Afrikaans praat. Dis my ander taal, maar baie min mense verstaan Afrikaans. So jy weet, Engels is wat ek moet praat if I want to be understood. Do you know Telangana folk songs? No. I can't say that I do. What's your age? I'm 28, 4 years sober now. Best decision I ever made. McNoyd, I'm proud of you, friend. Yeah, Joe, also proud of you. That will serve you indefinitely. Alcohol is lovely. It lowers inhibitions, lets you be a crazy individual. Yes, that's what we all need. Lowered inhibitions and crazier individuals. Yeah, looking at the world, I'm like, the world would be a better place if nobody had any inhibitions and everyone was crazy. Yes, that's... I'm poking fun, of course. Angry Otter, but seriously, dude, bro, come to India. I would love that. Anand. One day it'll happen. Skio Bob, good morning from Texas. Hey, Gavity Goo. I'm from Texas. Where are you from, bro? Where are you from? Don't slap too much. I'm from India. We have many Indian friends today. Thus, unwillingly, most people, there we go, have some good comments, have to somehow adjust as per it though. Deep within, many dislike the same, fear of being left out, and not gel with society leads to people conforming with such things. It's exactly how it is, bro. Conforming, right? I do believe there is a certain quality that can be valued in the self when you do look beautiful, right? But again, beauty is subjective, right? For me, what is beautiful is someone being in their authentic expression, right? I had this conversation with Joe actually the one day where we were talking about like the whole looks maxing kind of world, and she was mentioning Jack Black, right? And Jack Black isn't, by society standards, a conventionally attractive man, but Jack Black to me is an attractive man because of the way that he carries himself and his authenticity, right? And I never thought of him as unattractive because of that, right? And I feel like that is where my kind of, and I am, you know, a little bit on the spectrum. So maybe it's like my way of engaging with the world is different. It's like I see the character of a person and the eyes and their use of eyes more than I see the rest of them, you know. I guess I could, if you asked me to judge, right, what a person looks like, I could like put on that lens, put on those glasses and be like, yes, nose this big or small, lips this big or small, eyes this far apart or not, right? But again, authenticity and expression is usually the thing that I value the most. I know you are, but what am I? The best. You need to go to church with me. I came up with an idea. Yes, I'm sure it's going to be a great idea. Everybody lock in. Write that down, as SpongeBob says. Ranu Bombay, rank song. Do you know Telegana folk songs? I can't say I do. I am the web dev for the Melt fam. Sorry, the job is taken, my friend. It's true. Yes. Dan will develop the whole web for me any second now. Oh my goodness, Christy. Good day to you. Love is true. Good morning, y'all. Finally, it's a warm day here, Prairie Wolf. I hope it's a beautiful one for you, friend. I'm chuffed to bits to see and hear you. I'm all ears. Thank you, Net, for listening in, dear friend. Blessings upon you. May your ears be blessed by love. I'm sorry, I shouldn't stop. The Knicks are in the finals, not into sports, but I do live in New York, so I have conceived of an idea. New York Knicks pizza. It'll be topped with crushed Cheetos and blue heat Takis with a ranch drizzle. I think that just gave me cancer, reading that sentence. That's a recipe for bubble gum. Yeah, that's pretty cursed, bro. It's like, why do you hate people? Like, there's probably gonna be someone that's gonna buy it, all right? Yes, blue Takis and Cheetos with ranch. Did you say ranch? With ranch drizzle. Oh my goodness, dude, why? I think about each of us, though, being our best self, and then everything gets better for everyone. Ziggy Stardust, expressing ourselves and our authenticity. Right? Not stopping people. I feel like that's a big thing as well. Like the level of insecurity we find ourselves facing as a collective species right now. It's like all of us are almost like battling. Like if you're not in an active relationship kind of thing, right? If you're still looking for a partner, there comes so much baggage just with that act. Like I do not envy anyone who is in the dating scene right now, TBH, right? I can't imagine how hard it must be. Like if you watch the media's kind of like fractal, man, the noise floor is high. Might cut out some other frequencies, but should be a little bit more comfortable to listen to. Like if you have to look at the consensus, right, of how people are struggling to find partners with the current dating culture, right? Hookup culture, as they say. I can't imagine. I can't imagine being in that world. I've never been in that world, fortunately. But I also come from a very conservative Christian South African farm town family, right? So in that way, I have never really been exposed to that way of being. And looking at it from the outside, kind of in, it just looks like, I don't want to use the word stupidity, misalignment. I think that's better, right? It just looks like a lot of misalignment, right? Everybody is trying, really trying to find the perfect partner, right? That person that's going to make them suddenly feel like they're worthy of love, make them feel like they're special. Yeah. Make them feel like, you know, they're not a failure. When the only person that can really do that for you is yourself. And hearing that doesn't make it any easier to apply that wisdom, right? In fact, it can make it easy to hate the person who says it, right? Especially since I am in the position that I am. I have, right? And you can go back and look. You can see the very start of this journey, there was still a part of me that was grasping. That's the word I'm looking for. Grasping at thinking I need to have a partner in order to be happy, in order to show up for the world in a way that I believe I can be proud of. And then I got burned real quick. All right. I got manipulated and pretty burnt. And I was like, I think I need to prioritize the integrity of my actions, right? As one of those friends says, integrity is what you do when no one is looking. And there is a lot that came from that willingness to remain integral with myself, to show up and to become the person that I have become. And I'm not done. I think that's the part that's the hardest, right? Like I am still needing to grow a lot more. I'm still needing to gain a lot more self-confidence than I have at this point in my life. And I think about it from this perspective of manifestation, right? How much more can I be capable of if I believed I was capable of more? How much more could I be doing if I allowed myself to do the things that I know I'm capable of as well, kind of thing, right? How much of my own bias, my own limitations is self-imposed, if not all of them. And I am willing to admit that there is definitely a societal part of it, right? Like the skills that I have or don't have determine what people will or will not let me do, what people will or will not believe when I say it to them, right? I don't have any authority. And I have come to the conclusion that authority is outdated, right? Authority is no longer something that people value. In fact, it might be something people actively try to avoid. And to bring it back to something I said at the start of this stream, is how can I remain so stable that I create an energy space that people want to be within? Because again, we are going to continue entering a wilder and wilder world going forward. Things are not going to calm down. Things are not going to suddenly be chill. No, that's not happening, right? It's only going to get wilder. And in a world that's exponentially getting more and more wild, as we rapidly approach the singularity, people will lose their minds. Literally. They will fucking lose their minds. And I am trying to like almost be aware of that fact and actively keep my mind. Keep my stability, keep my patience and calm, an air of it's gonna be okay, right? I think it's very important to me to remind those that I value, those that are in my life, that it's gonna be okay. That it might not be okay today, but will show up again tomorrow. And if it's not okay tomorrow, then we'll show up the day after that as well. And slowly but surely, we'll find ourselves on the other side of it again. I think it's about each of us being our best self, and then everything gets better for everyone. Yeah. I dreamed I was in New York State, somewhere. Finally, I got to travel. That's cool. Net says, Melt, tell us please, what do you love doing in your life most of all? Might be this. Might be this. It's this. I was gonna say dancing, but it's also a part of this space, right? There's a quality that arises when we dance, and there's a certain exuberance, right? I remember back in the day, one of the very first live streams I ever did. One of the like the first, like it was in the early days. I did a live stream. I would do these dances in the morning, and it was raining, and I was just in this state of exuberant play. I was having a good time, listening to music, dancing outside. My dad came out looking at me like, what the fuck is happening here? I was trying to communicate to him the joy that I felt in people joining me in this joy that I felt. All right, not everybody was having a good time. Some people hated me for it. They're like, fuck this guy. You must be on drugs. And I'm like, you can believe that. People have been believing that. People will probably continue to believe that. However, proof is in the pudding, right? I don't think people that abuse drugs show up every single day for thousands of days, right? And I do hope that at the end of, maybe not the end of, at the eventuality of what this space is trying to become, it will be clear enough that anybody would be able to understand what it is we're trying to do here. And I think it's a lot about almost creating that clarity in myself as well. So, yeah, I love doing this most of all, dear friend. This is like my purpose. This is like my je ne sais quoi, my something something. I love it. You gotta admit there's something extra handsome looking about Melt lately. I am taking real good care of my health, Goo. Maybe I'm like entering my man era. Yes, I am fully man these days. I have been styling my hair. Oh yeah, styling hair. I am getting pretty lean again. I am gaining a little bit of weight right now. I gained like 4 pounds over the last 4 days. But I'm not getting to be overweight. I am very in control, right? I have like a whole graph. I weigh myself in every morning. And I am doing red light therapy. I have a face care routine for the first time in my life, Goo. I'm actually washing my face and putting moisturizer on me. Finally. I don't know if it's helping. And then there's also like maybe I think, like neurochemicals, right? I feel like there's a whole neurochemical experience that I'm in. I'm doing a lot less video watching as well, right? I think that might have something to do with it as well. Apparently, if you spend a lot of time watching TikToks or whatever, right, scrolling, your face goes into like a relaxed state that apparently makes you less attractive. You know that? It's kind of fascinating to hear that. I was like, it kind of makes sense, right? If you're not engaging your face, if you're just but yeah, how much control do we have? I think it's probably because I am becoming a little bit more mature. That's probably a part of it as well, Gabs. I am entering my maturity. Life is about energy. Maybe kick her dad in the nads. What? Wolfie, you don't have to travel a lot. Maybe. Is that the punch your dad in the dick again? Punch your dad in the dick again. He's got good hygiene and skincare routine. He takes really good care of himself. All that charm too. What a great guy. Has a great guy. Yeah, Joe knows. It's very nice to look nice for my wife. Yes, I really do like it. Right. I look extra handsome while I'm cooking. Right. Handsomely cutting grass. Handsomely washing dishes. And then she's like, damn boy, you wash dishes sexy. Oh, that's totally what she says all the time. Careful, I'm pretty sure you're gonna go. I'm pretty sure if you go in the rain, you might melt. At least we have some integrity. Very admirable. Love is true. What's dating? That's dating nowadays. I can't imagine how hard it must be. Darren, Sintegrity? Sintegrity. That sounds cool. Hoopty hoops. Hi, Christy. The dream was a manifestation of wanderlust. We have a sick member of the family, so I'm on caregiver mode again. I hope that they get better soon. Dear Prairie Wolf, I'm sorry that you're dealing with that. I remember telling you to try yoga in 2021 Melt, and you didn't want to. You were reluctant, and you were right. You were very right, Dan. Yoga was, in fact, what I needed more of. It's true. Right. And again, the reason I didn't want to do yoga is because I believed, erroneously so, that yoga is something you do if you want to do something easy. All right. You're like, yeah, I'm going to yoga because I don't want to bench 100 pounds or whatever. All right. It's like, yeah, it's easy mode. And then I got my ass kicked by some Ashtanga yoga, right? Like literally shaking like I'm holding on for my dear life after like 30 minutes of practice. And I was like, I used to be able to gym for 2 hours, and I walked away feeling good, right? Pumped up, like, yeah, I'm strong. And then I got wrecked in 30 minutes by a yoga class, and I was like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, and maybe I should start practicing yoga. And then I became a yoga teacher, and I haven't stopped practicing yoga for now like 1,500 days, every single day. I have missed, I think, a total of 7 days because sometimes I was traveling or something like that. But yeah, pretty much continuing every day. I remember that dude. Oh, geez. Yes. Do things change? Always. Things only change. If one goes into deep meditation and practices yoga, then the inner chakras evolve, and the way we think and look at things completely changes. Focus shifts from the superficial to a real sense of life. Rahula, your comments have been beautiful and very aligned with this space's sentiment. It's true, right? And again, I've said this to Joe as well. One of the consequences of practicing yoga is that you might end up becoming more attractive, right? Your body will slowly but surely adjust to the fact that you're asking of it. You'll grow muscle mass. If you get really in tune with your body's needs, you won't overeat as well, right? It'll be easy for you to eat the amount of calories you need instead of excessively doing so. And then you will become a more attractive person eventually. But again, it's a matter of like the one comes before the other, right? If you're only focused on your own aesthetics, right? And like that's the only thing, for me at least, when I was trying to get myself like lean, I would go through these booms and busts where I would get super lean and be jacked and have like my like six pack and stuff. And then I would feel good enough to allow myself to eat food again. And then I would get fat. And then I would hate myself. And then I would cut down again. And then I would be aesthetic to myself, what I imagine aesthetic is supposed to be. And then I would feel good enough to eat again. And I would just like rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. And as soon as I started practicing yoga, right, and I have a daily practice, it became about what I can do, how I feel in my practice, right? I feel this part of my body is a little bit tighter than I'm used to. I'll focus on that part a little bit more. And yeah, now I find myself way more stable in my own self-image, right? Because I know what I'm capable of, not what I look like, right? Which is, again, you look pretty similar, technically. Like, it's very hard to lose a lot of weight real quickly. You can fast, and I do that too, and you can lose weight pretty fast, but you don't look that good, technically, when you only lose weight fasting, right? When you get strong, your weight is almost like a measure that you work with, right? Like how heavy you are becomes the input for how hard an exercise becomes, right? And it's way better to think about it from that perspective. Get strong, don't get lean. The problem is when you add chemical X to alcohol. Yes, I'm pretty sure alcohol is the chemical X. Wait, Prairie Wolf just said hi. She does. Where are you from, Fern? I'm from Hungary. Well, welcome, dear friend. It's nice having you here. She did. Why'd you eat kiwis? I love kiwis. Kiwis is my favorite fruit. I've never been to Texas. Neither have I. What part are you from? Me? Because kiwi is expensive. Yeah, that's what I do. That's what I do to make money. I'll be beautiful. Hoopty hoops. People consider me beautiful. I have made zero money being beautiful. Think about that. Not one money has been made, right? I actually did do modeling, right? I paid to do modeling. There was like a $500 like a sign-up fee. And a part of that sign-up fee was 4 runway shows, right? So I think, do 3 of them or 2 of them. And then I went to China, so I didn't get to do my last ones. And there was like a professional photo shoot. And they did teach us a bunch of things about how to walk, and how to carry yourself. And they taught us like styling tips and yada 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 yada. But I had to pay. I paid, right? I earned zero money. I did kind of like try to compete with the South African market, right? Where uh, how I look is actually, how do you say, a detriment, right? You're less likely to get modeling work being like me than you are being more local, kind of thing. So yeah, I've never, not once. Technically, I lied. When I was a kid, I won most handsome boy in preschool. Yeah. Why? For the life of them, did they have a most handsome whatever on preschoolers? I couldn't tell you, but I did make $5, or was it $10? $5 or $10 when I was 5 years old, because I won a preschool competition. But that's the only money I ever made, right? Looking anyway. I'm from Central Texas. It doesn't really help to be beautiful because we have to deal with lust, etc. The society doesn't like beautiful people. They like them enough to exploit them. There you go. Yeah. Now there's wisdom. Exactly. They don't actually like them. It's just a matter of exploitation, right? It's like, yeah, you can be used. And I saw that as well. Like, I probably would have been able to earn money working in the modeling industry if I was more willing to let myself be exploited, right? But I am, unfortunately, for the people that tried to exploit me, too autistic to care, right? And I was also not willing to let them touch me, right? Some of them would get really close and personal, and I would be like, hey, what are you doing? I don't like that. And they would be like, oh, this guy is a prude. I've been called a prude so much in my life, where I'm like, I'm not a prude. I just have high standards, extremely high standards. Lamar, you're tripping. Nice. I have a lot of cousins in Austin, and they want me to come and visit. It would be cool. So sure, you can get away with everything when you have puppy eyes. A look, but that's about it. Yeah, hello. Just moved to Nepal, and it's so stormy out here. The literal raining and storming. My house got struck. Well, are you still dry inside? Maybe this is your house just showing you that you are safe inside. Do it. We will go on adventures, Christy. That sounds fun. Bro, someone blocked me from his live stream. I was like, why are you ignoring my comments? And then he blocked me. Well, sometimes people get blocked for being abrasive, right? If you are like derailing the stream conversation, if you're being derogatory or mean, if you're spamming in the comment section, there might be reasons for people to ignore your comments or block you. You're welcome here, friend. As long as you follow the rules, right? Love is true. Make sure that the words you share come from a place of love, at its core being the truth, right? Challenge the argument. If you hear me talking about something, don't challenge me as a person, like, oh, I actually think you're stupid for thinking that, right? It's like, okay, well, now we're gonna go nowhere. We got Dan saying, confidence is attractive no matter what package it comes in. There we go. Yeah, that's literally why a guy like the Orange Man is successful, brimming with unearned confidence. Yeah, and people, again, right, want to be that. Me and Joe had a conversation about that just yesterday. Is people want to be like that, and they believe that aligning themselves with that will kind of like, maybe some of it will rub off on them. Maybe they'll get some of it. I was gonna visit a few months ago. There was a festival, but the tickets were so expensive. It's hard to be beautiful. And even if you are, I said this to Joe as well, the most beautiful people in society are also the most self-conscious and insecure, right? A beautiful person doesn't look in the mirror and see themselves as beautiful. They can find themselves aesthetically pleasing. However, they'll mess with their hair, or they'll pluck their beard line, or they're going to pick at a pimple, or they're going to put on some sort of peptide cream to try and like keep their wrinkles from showing as much as it is. And then, right? And in that way, being beautiful just means that you end up having to do even more work to try and maintain this thing that you have come to conclude that society values above everything else. I'm not feeling good today, so I have a question. What do you do when you're sad and everything seems hopeless? I hope you're still here, Jeremy. I hope you're still here to hear my answer, even if I don't necessarily have a good one for you. I usually just continue, right? I have this very, what's the word I'm looking for? Let's say almost combative relationship with existence, right? At one point in my life, I didn't want to continue. And because I convinced myself that it would be okay for me not to, it became easier and easier not to continue. And then I did do something where I do believe there's a bunch of versions of me that did cease to exist. However, this version of me didn't. And after I came back as this version of me, I realized that the only thing that I really do have control over is my continuation. You have control over the ending of yourself as well, but you're only ending that version of yourself. There's all of these versions of you that became after that as well. And that's the part that I kind of like take great pride in, is that if I'm sad and if I feel things are hopeless, I give myself some time, right? I have not put so much credence into my feelings, because your feelings will lie. That's a wisdom that Jo teaches me, she'll remind me of as well. Your feelings are liars. Your feelings of hopelessness and your feelings of sad, they lie to you. They'll tell you that there's nothing to live for. They'll tell you that you suck. They lie because they don't know. They might be convincing. They might believe in their own bullshit in the moment, but they don't have the ultimate truth, right? If you could take a step back and sit down, take a few long, deep breaths, and then continue to take a few long, deep breaths until you find yourself on the other side of it again, you will see that there is still something worth living for, right? If anything, right? This is a hand I'll extend out to you. I show up like this every single day. I do, right? And if you don't feel like there's anything to hope for in your day today, then hope for tomorrow. And then I'll be here again. And then I'll ask Jeremy, I'll remember that name. You feeling less hopeful? You're feeling more hopeful today. By tomorrow. And then maybe you'll have a different answer. And then the day after that, and then the day after that. And I promise you, we will find different experiences as well. You have to deal with jealousy and envy. Do people still say slay? Not too much. I don't think slay is that cool anymore, but I still say it sometimes. Yeah, and summer is about to kick in, and you will melt if you come. If you come soon, Christy. Come in November. Yeah, summer in Texas is probably wild. People fighting over you, and they take revenge when you reject them. It's not easy, man. People think it's easy to be beautiful, and it's really not. It's true. I wonder how many of these new chatters are AI bots. I wonder as well, actually, Gabs. I'm not convinced that a lot of them are. Maybe the where are you from could be AI bots. Because, jeeps, I get asked that question like 75 times in every live stream. I understand where you're coming from. It's hard having beauty. Those are the colors for the Knicks. New York's Knicks pizza. I'm creative. Y'all just need to live a little. Dude, I'm pretty sure you'll explode if you eat something like that more than one time. What you say about the world says more about the way you perceive it than it says about how the way the world works. I mean, again, right? I feel like it's a matter of projection, where the world projects upon you a lot. Like your perspective is valuable and earned in that way too, right? It's like you have to be not paying a lot of attention to come to the conclusion that people don't care. My entire life, what I look like has been a topic of conversation. My whole life. Never. I cannot remember, like think about this. I cannot one time in my life remember where I haven't been reminded that I have an appearance, right? My mother's friends were the very first ones. My teachers, the other children, my entire life reminded me of my appearance over and over and over again, right? The world has been saying things about me in that way my entire life for us to come to these conclusions. You have to tell us if you're an AI, yes, like the police, exactly. Google, I'm not going to read your message if you're going to use that profile picture and name. I'm sorry. You know who you are. It is probably PD right now. I like the God one more. I'd rather talk to you as God. I'm not going to read your messages if that's the name you're coming here with, bro. Change it again. People judge you and automatically think you're conceited and full of yourself. Why it was hard for me to make friends growing up. I had very few friends as well. Yeah, dating is horrible. Literally horrible. I would rate my experience 2 out of 10. Shouldn't you be at work? I am at work, dude. Beauty comes with pain. Yeah, because normal people get normal treatment, but for beautiful people, it is friend or enemy. Because once people know they have nothing to gain from you, you become disposable in their view. So they become, what if we don't have stars, right? Yeah. It's back to Diddle-us. Yeah, I'm not going to read his messages because I'm like, bro, like there's nothing endearing about that person. Joe, I do what I want. Yeah. Sir, how are you? I'm doing well. Doing well. Showing up, staying present. Shantae is here with us too. Am I not the world? You are the world. Goo. That's actually a Hoopy message, but Goo's one was directly underneath it. Put the bomb down. Yeah, you are the world. You are the world, dear Hoops. And I don't think there's something wrong with having eyes and using them to see, right? I don't think there's something wrong with finding someone attractive. I don't think there's something wrong with letting someone know that they look good. I think there is something wrong with believing someone to be unworthy, right? Or attacking their character because of the way they look, right? Believing them to be evil or unkind or not always giving them the time of day, right? That I think is the falling short of. Like, drop your preconceived notions and spend some time to learn about the person, whether they are beautiful or not, right? Just get to know them, see what they're like inside, and then come to a conclusion. I'm not full of myself or conceited. I'm just myself. But it is what it is. Just be you. People would fight locally over the best. Yeah. I mean, this is a totally serious way. I genuinely feel we'd be better off if we switched back to arranged marriages. Again, I think there would probably be less struggles in some ways, right? Some struggles would go away, but again, having your dad sell you off to another family because they want to continue perpetuating more wealth, right? And then being arranged to marry someone that is in your class because that's the only person you are allowed to marry because your dad is not going to let you, or their dad is not going to let them marry someone that is poor, or like there's a lot of other stuff that comes with arranged marriages that I don't know if I'm convinced. What, Gob? What's your idea? You never told us. Cheerio. What is the guy talking about? We're talking about the integrity of humanity today and how much of our integrity is compromised by aesthetics, right? Where people probably have more integrity with attractive people in some ways than others, probably have less integrity with attractive people than others, kind of thing. Not random marriages, arranged marriages. A group of wise people gives you options and you end up with one. Again, who are those wise people? I'm pretty sure, I don't know if you've seen it, there's a Black Mirror episode like that, Dan. The one where an AI basically brings you together, right? And then separates you and then sees if you're willing to like fight the system in order to get back with that person, kind of thing. I don't remember very well. I hope they arrange us together, Dan. So we have a saying in the Netherlands: Hoog Bomen vangen veel wind. Big trees catch more wind. It means it's important. Important people have to deal with more than the people that are the wind. Beautiful people are deemed more important, therefore. Yeah, sorry, God, but I don't swing that way, man. Man, Gobs. How dare Dan say something like that, dude? He didn't even give you a chance. Oh. He didn't even try and swing that way. Gob is a nice guy, Dan. You should try. Oh. You should try. You've tried women a lot, Dan. Women hasn't worked. Oh, maybe you should try Gob. Maybe, dude. Dan is like, no, no, I like women. I like women too. I get it. Oh, I get it. I'm just having fun. There was a lot. Yeah, I'll cook you a New York Nick's pizza and roll it, Joel. Yeah, what are you talking about? Listen and you'll hear. Please do show up. I haven't seen you in a long time. Here we are. Maybe you should open your eyes. Look, where are you from? I'm from South Africa. I need to have like a timer. Like every 2 minutes, I say, I'm from South Africa, and then I continue down the line that I was talking anyway. We will have buffer wives. Don't worry, Dan. Yes, see, Gobs knows. Gobs is coming of plans. Don't worry, Dan. There will still be women, but you're going to be loving each other, right? Cleaning the house together, cooking for one another, right? There will be women. Don't you worry, Dan. Don't be gay. Don't be gay. That's true. You can say no homo. You can say no homo before you go to sleep at night. That's true. They're always looking. Yeah, there's always someone looking. I think there is constructive and destructive ways to use comparison. Also true. Use it or lose it, Joe. Buffer wives, lamau. Dan is cracking. Dan is like, maybe that is a good idea. Maybe I should end up with gobbledygoo. Maybe I should. Maybe I should. I'm not allowed to compare myself because I have no access to a better life. Why so? I think what Joe is meaning of that, right, is like you can compare yourself constructively and destructively, right? You can look at an attractive person and be like, oh, I'm so ugly, right? Or you can look at an attractive person and be like, I like the way they do their hair. And then you can try and do your hair, right? I like, maybe they have makeup on. You can wear makeup as a man. You can put eyeliner on. It could look pretty spiffy, right? Just do it with confidence, right? And that's the thing, right? Try and like lean into confidence. And maybe that is the other part as well, right? The criticism. You can look at a person constructively as well, right? You can be like, fuck that person for being so attractive, right? They make me seethingly angry for how handsome they are. Or you can be like, yeah, they're beautiful, and I'm happy that they are beautiful. Do you like Doctor Who? I do. You batting for the other side? No, not personally. The world is infinite. Whatever you're looking for, you're likely to find. I think comparing is okay. It's not good or bad. It's just the way we analyze. I do agree for the most part of that as well. Right? Comparing is the thief of joy, But it's only when you compare things that you're almost like convincing yourself of you being less, right? It's when you apply the good or bad analysis to it that it starts becoming a little bit harmful, I believe. Your broccoli cut as wild. Thanks. Appreciate that. In the conclusion that matters in the case. It is the conclusion that matters in that case. Yeah. Would it be a good band name? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Buffer Wives. That is pretty cool. Yes. Yes. I'm imagining them like using all of the internet memes, right? Like they have like internet sounds that buffer and then like transition into different internet sounds. Hey man, where are you from? I'm from the internet. I'm gonna start just saying that. I'm just from the internet from now on forward. I don't know, Joe. If the universe has infinite things, then you're probably less likely to find that one thing you're seeking. Yeah, Dan coming with the wisdoms. Yeah, you've heard about looking for a needle in a haystack. Now get ready for looking for something in everything. You'll probably find something in everything. That's the thing, all right? It's just about expectation. What are you expecting to find in the everything? Are you expecting to find something? And if you're expecting to find something, bet you will. Comparison can be okay. It can also be used to spiral into rumination. Yes, that's when it's destructive. Goodbye, humans in chat. Goodbye, AI bots in chat. Goodbye, Gavity Goo. We love you. It's gonna be okay. Where are you going, Gab? Work. It's gotta work, 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 work. Only press because I know what I'm seeing on screen and in chat. Sometimes I always say, the it's true. Yeah. You will know you are loved. We'll keep reminding each other every single day. Right? That's the other thing about this space as well. Is I love you, friends, even if I don't know what you look like. Some of you friends, I still don't know what you look like. Some of you friends, I do know what you look like. And I hope you haven't felt less or more loved based on whether or not I know what you look like. Because it's inconsequential to me. Your presence, your willingness to show up in the space is the qualifying condition, right? Not what you look like, but you're showing up, right? It's like showing up with a bowl. If I was cooking us a meal, right, and you bring me a bowl, I'm putting food in it. What the bowl looks like is inconsequential, right? If it's designed with nice little furlies, if it has golden edging, if it has, if it's made of crystal, that matters very little to me. I'm gonna put food, right? Enjoy your meal, right? Wash it afterwards. That's the way we show up in this space, right? That's things. The entire global population agrees. Yeah, that's true. Have a great workday, Gabs. Thank you, sweetie. Fairy Wolf is a real human. She is. And we love you, Gabs. Bye, Goopster. We'll see you again soon, bro. Bro, I disagree wholeheartedly. Heroin addicts show up for their heroin addiction every single day. They're actually some of the most consistent people in that regard. Also true. Also true, dear Dan. However, I think it's a matter of like that three prongs, right? One is like what makes you happy. One is what can earn you income. And one is what does the world need, right? You might get made happy by taking heroin, but nobody is going to pay you for that. And that's not going to make the world a better place, right? So show up for stuff that has those three prongs. The financial aspect of it is, again, a little bit misaligning because, again, I do believe in our lifetimes eventually the financial aspect will kind of go away the way that we have them right now, but your mileage may vary. Show up for what is good. What's up? Can you say my name, please? Pragyan? Name said, hey, I make gaming video thumbnails for small creators. Clean, clickable, and affordable design for Minecraft, BGMI, and your videos also. I upload a thumbnail every single time I do a live stream. And this is my process. I go, and then it's done, right? And that's how I kind of do it. It's quickly. It's definitely face washing and moisturizing. I've been doing that for years, and I look young. Gab does look fantastic. I'm just like catching up with you at this point, Gabity Goo. I'm getting good, bro. Yeah, Dan, because they're addicts. Exactly. Dang, I heard junkies use dogs to test their heroin to see if it's got with fentanyl. Oh, jeez, and it won't kill them. I want to go John Wick mode when I heard that. Yeah, that is super disgusting, Prairie Wolf. Espresso day today. I'm having my coffee too. My coffee is also mostly coffee today. I had like only half the amount of cream left that I usually use. But Melt said, do you think someone who abuses drugs could be consistent? My answer is yes, they're very consistent. They're not consistently showing up for the world, Dan. They're consistently showing up for the drugs. That's the point I was making, right? If I was doing drugs, I would be doing drugs. I wouldn't be doing this. That was my point. But sure, I guess you can talk about the consistency in the doing drugs as well. God blessed me with nice skin. I just use CeraVe face wash and Aveeno lotion. Yeah, no, I got pretty rough skin. My skin has definitely been a challenge my entire life. Since I became a teenager, I've just not had a good time having skin. I've literally wished to not have skin anymore, to replace my skin with nanomachines. And I probably still will end up doing that. I'll probably replace my skin with something that I can control. If you need to end early to rest, please do. Your health is more important than the stream. Are you tired? Not today so much, actually. I did kind of like woke up only like 2 hours ago, but I'm not tired. No, not exactly. Yesterday I was feeling pretty rough. But today I'm appreciating remaining present. Have you ever lost your head over love? No. I, in the losing of love, almost like cauterize the wound, right? I don't let myself bleed out. I go, and then I stop. And I'm like, all right, moving on. Hey, what did I tell you to dance to the other week? The Macarena. There we go. I had to like scroll of my memory files. The Macarena. In his world, he highly respects his sleep schedule. Yes. My sleep schedule has a lot of respect put on it. Like, I make sure to sleep appropriately. So I'm not too tired. Good sleep is a high priority for him, very much so. If you need to end it early, thank you, friend. I appreciate your concern. We adore your hair. Thank you, Ned. Yes, I am. Confidence comes within. Your dimples are fire. Thank you, Ned. Christy's skin is like the Southwest. Christy's skin is like the Southwest. Dry and jagged, coarse, dry, croissant-like. Dry, not moist, dry. You know, and then dry. And then drying of dryness, dry. Mindfulness might help you to not overconsume, but be sure to not undereat too. It's important to find balance and treat the self with the love that it deserves. This is true. Holy shit, Mel, you're like an hour behind on chat. I'm trying. Oh, Lone Buffalo, I'm trying. You're just like the peanut butter and jelly. That hits close to home, Dan. The dry. Yeah. Yeah, Joe's skin is pretty dry. She gets pretty dry. Use maple syrup as my fish. That's hilarious. You know the origins of the croissant is from the Crusades. The French wanted to mock the Arabs, so they made a bread in the shape of their crescent moon iconography. Is that real? I don't know with Dan anymore. Some of the things he says, like I don't want to believe anything he says because of like I like that could be true. Like the thing that he lies so convincingly. Like I'm like, is that true? Did he put corn dogs in his pockets and then go to a buffet and then put his pocket corn dogs on the table and then watch the other residents eat it? Did he do that? Surely he wouldn't do such a thing. Surely they didn't make the crescent moon to mock their iconography. Are you Arab? No, I'm not. I am a person. Sorry, Prairie Wolf. Didn't mean to delete your comment. Was trying to hit that other troll. Love is true. Dang, dang, dang. Yeah, Prairie Wolf uses maple syrup on her face, though. I'm not sure if that's true either. Are you Christian? No, I'm not. Are you interested, Agent? Agent is only asking because he is. Be kind. It'll make you feel better. Dang, other troll. My standards are low. If I don't lower it, I feel like everything feels impossible. I need my standards to be lower because nobody can do what I can. Yeah, standards is, again, right? Like, maybe you're talking about the prude comment. I don't just, like, go with the flow in those kinds of ways. I'm pretty, like, how about no about stuff like that? Dang it, with the Australians who made the croissant roll to commemorate the Battle of Vienna in 1683, and then the French stole it. But you did say dancing. Dancing is one of his. His exuberance, the quality that arises when we dance, I don't know. Depends on how you dance. All true. Don't set your standards too low. Set a healthy boundary for yourself because you deserve what you need. Angela from Italy is here with us too. I love you, Angela friend. And I love you and your family, and I hope you're well, and I'm sending you blessings. Hi, Zoe! Zoe has been a very good bird. An hour and 20 minutes without saying something? Have you been such a good bird? Hi! Hi, Zoe. You want out? Hi, sweetie bird. You ate all your vegetables. All of your vegetables were eaten? Wow, Zoe. This is Zoe, Zoe. I love you. What a good girl. Eating all your veggies. Eating every little bit of your vegetables. Here, step on my, here, step up. Good girl. That's a good girl, Zoe. I don't, you want to go outside? Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. No. Good girl. Step up. Let's go outside, okay? Let's go out. Come on. Come on. Let's go out. Yeah. You want out? Come on, come on. Come on, come on. There you go, Zoe. There you go, Want some of this? So birdie. Damn, it's humid out there. You step outside and the air is like, I'm sticking to your face. That's exactly what the air sounds like. The most beautiful people in society. What is beauty? It's subjective. It depends on who's judging. There's a bell curve, sure, but I think it all really depends on the individual. I don't think you're wrong, Joe. Have a beautiful day, you guys. Thank you, Angela. Has anyone ever been woken up by a woodpecker in your window? Yeah, we actually have a woodpecker that comes and like knocks on our gutters. Suddenly sounds like someone is shooting at the house. I agree, Joe. Christy says, I feel like beauty isn't really an image. Beauty is who you are as an individual. Both Joe and Christy resonating. This clarity of trying thing has nothing to do with individual understanding. So when I'm crying, it's always a lie? I don't think so, at least. Your biggest gaslighter can be the emotional side of your mind. Very true, Joey Diesel. It's nice having you here with us, bro. Me and Joe talked about you just recently. Like, mentioning that, you know, you started taking a meditation again, kind of thing. Your purpose, bro, your purpose is so stupid. Talking about this being my purpose. Yeah, I'm sure it is. That's why you spend so much time doing it too, isn't it, Dream Tooth? Why you spend so much time here with us? Because we're stupid together. You know, clown to clown communication happening here right now. Can you pronounce Tanuja? My name. I don't know if I said it correctly, and I'm sure that you probably made me say something that I'm not supposed to say, but get blessed. The thing about bell curves is the peak has the highest concentration, but the outer edges cover more total space. There are more ways to be unusual than there are to be average. It's true. You know, it's just that you'd like to think it's important. Well, it just isn't. Yeah. If you say so, Hoopy, you must be the sole authority on what is and isn't important, you know, for my life, of course. You know, it's almost like I have no say in what's important to me, you know, and I need to defer to you to find out what is. Ram Dass says, you are not your thoughts and feelings. Your job is to sit with your thoughts and feelings and determine which ones are worth listening to and which ones to ignore. I feel like it's kind of the same way with like this chat sometimes as well, you know. I probably should ignore more of Hoopy's comments, but I still do kind of like allow them into my mind space sometimes. Dan knows it's more like what part of the world the individual experiences the most that phases the perspective of the world. Zoe is screaming out there again. Let me go get him quickly. Are you a doctor? No. I am not a doctor. Hello, Zoe. Hello, Zoe. You want out? Come on. She's a good girl. That's a good girl. She's a good girl. You want a cookie? You want a cookie? You want a cookie? Yeah? Let's get you some cookies, okay? Yeah. You can use some cookies.
What a cookie.
It's for you. I'm gonna get you some cookies. Can you help me? Good girl.
What a cookie.
That's a good girl. Whoa. Patience. Patience. You need patience. All right. Step up on my knee. Step up. Good girl. We got some cookies in this little container. Yaha. And I'm going to close it up for you. There's some cookies in here. There's some cookies. Look at that. Yeah, you looking forward to this? Does that look good? Yeah. All right. Step up. Good girl. Let's say hello. Let me say hello. Hi. It's a good girl. Thank you for the kiss. And you want to do a spin for them? Do a spin. Do a spin. No, do a spin. Spin, spin, spin. He's like, bro, I don't want him to spin right now. Spin. Spin, Zoe, spin. Come on, spin, spin. He's like, bro, I don't want to spin. I don't want. You want to spin? You don't want to spin? Are you happy? Are you happy? Let me make a kiss. Mwah. All right, give me a high five at least. Can you give me a high five? Yeah. That's a good girl. All right, let's give you a cookie. Okay, say bye-bye. Bye. Good girl. That's a good girl. That's a good girl, Zoe. Enjoy. Have fun. All right. What's going on, my boy? Get that baby blue scarf on. What's the topic? Today's topic is about the world and its aesthetics. how our aesthetics or our judgment of aesthetics is something that can compromise our integrity. The dog wants to go outside. Give me a second. Give me a 1 second. I'm just going to take him outside quickly. It's lightly raining. There he goes. He's doing him business. Good, good, good. Good. Yes. Yes. Do them business. Sweet. We are making a return path. He got his carrot. He jumped on the couch to eat it, and I'm like, it's fine. It's fine. I'm sure he'll get all of the little bits. He better. Yeah, I'm fine. You inspire me. I'm happily listening to you. You're so positive. I love it. I show up with this positivity in mind, dear friend. Have you ever lost your head? Nope. Either. I've cried, but I've never lost my head. This is a community for love, and it is to share what we're going through, not for hatred. Exactly. Kiefer is here with us too, while you've been sleeping on it. Good morning to you too, friend. Holy, what did you do to him? The Burby? He's fine. I don't know if they're messing around about the arranged marriage thing or not, but no, it would not be better if we had agreed. My inner thoughts are going crazy right now, Tom McCarn says. Listening to this, I don't have much to contribute, but I've really given me something to think about. You are loved, Tomo. It has been a pretty loaded conversation. And yeah, maybe just thinking about it is exactly what we need to do, right? Maybe that will be the place that we can find ourselves growing. You have to be not paying attention to conclude that people don't care. That's kind of a rude thing to say. Assuming and concluding. I didn't say that directly to you, Zhao. I hope you know that. Assuming and concluding I don't pay attention, like address the topic and not the person here. People see appearance because eyes and simplicity. But I just pay attention to other things. I've been told about my looks a lot. I just give my attention to the other things that are said too. And I give my energy to that instead of talking about that and perpetuating it. I hear you, my darling. I hope you know that I wasn't trying to like insult you with what I was saying. It's just a matter of like, I think we've had this conversation before, right? I think we have had this conversation before. Bros build different, right? Yeah. You have a group of spiritual elders who do the arranging, Melt, not your parents. I don't know who's going to be assigned. That role is the big thing. Are you talking about a Black Mirror episode? We did. Today's my birthday. Happy birthday, friend. Thanks a bunch for making my day brighter. Bless you, Nat. JBB, you're pretty. Exactly, Prairie Wolf. I think that's kind of like where I was, like the whole not paying attention thing. It wasn't trying to be mean. It's just a matter of like, I think it's easier to pay attention to other things than appearances when you are pretty, right? And I, of course, believe that Jovan is beautiful. She's gorgeous, right? I love her. But I didn't build a friendship with her because she was beautiful. The person that she is, the person that she showed up as, is what kind of like attracted me to her, right? Like there are a bunch of aesthetically pleasing people out there in the world, but when you are beautiful, it's almost like you are maybe potentially allowed to think about other things as well, where you can definitely think about, you know, like your skills or the way you show up in the world beyond that, but it's like it's not made a problem, right? It's not the limiting factor for you in the same way that it might be for other people. Not trying to sound conceited, but talking about the topic, beauty comes with a lot of pain. I've been bullied, and I've not been able to keep friendships out of jealousy. It's like yin and yang. Yeah, and it is something that affects our world, right? Like that's kind of the thing that I was talking about. It's like it is, that's how it is. Like if you pay attention to how people operate, it's clear that that's very important to people. Like it's impossible to almost like get past it. How's my favorite lizard person? Slithering. Doing good. Confidence is key. Fuck what the haters say. Yeah. Exactly. Comparison is beneficial if it is actionable. True. Checking whether you have blocked me or not. Not just yet. Thanks, Prairie. I've been told about my pretty looks all my life. I've also been told to fix my teeth. Every single person has their own internal stuff that influences what they see in the world. You are pretty because you want to. You see pretty, there we go, because you want to. I think I agree with that, Joe, actually. Right? Like you can see beauty in like a skull, for example. Right? A skull isn't in and of itself conventionally pretty, right? As the world might see it. But you can still, with your mind, see beauty in something like that as well. Shame Joe, same. Crooked Smile by J. Cole really hits me. Seeing the good in the world, perpetuating that, and not letting the negativity influence your you-ness. It's not easy, but it does bring harmony. Exactly. That's integrity. I feel that. Sunscreen daily. I need to start wearing sunscreen. Like that's the big thing that I have like some trouble with actually. Coffee make anyone else need to poop. Yeah, it is a diuretic. It does have that quality to it. I'll subscribe. Thank you, friends. Do subscribe if you're new here. Your hair's like mine. Cool. We got same hair. Are you from Romania? I'm from South Africa. Where's the beaded necklace? Oh, thanks for your stream. Thank you, Net, for joining us for it. It's nice having you here too. Please show the group. Let me go get my secondary device. I hope you friends are ready for something cursed. Do 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 do. Oh, Christy. I'm seeing the video that you posted now. That's cute. Whoa. There's a special place in hell, though. Yes. That looks like it's giving me freaking heartburn looking at that photo, dude. That's so disgusting. Oh, my poor eyeballs. I need to probably switch my account again. Did I freaking drop my coffee? Why? No, I didn't. It's not that far away. Hey, I'm actually getting to the end of stream. Or the comments, at least. Are you a guru? You look like Oshu. I don't consider myself a guru. Maybe I'll start being a guru when I'm in my 60s, but I'm still just a baby. The goddamn bird. Oops, meant to time them out, but I hit them instead. What's up, Holy Carl? Thank you for joining us too, friends. Nice having you. I'm gonna make a New York Kicks pizza, put it in a blender, fill it with heavy cream, and then make the first ever liquid pizza. If you die eating something like that, I won't cry, Dan. I won't cry. Oh. I'll cry if you die anywhere else. Oh, but I won't cry if you die eating blended New York Kicks pizza with Cheetos and blue Takis. I'm not gonna cry. I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna come spitting on you. Do you remember what the next dance request is? I've already said, Lone Buffalo. You want me to dance to the Macarena? People do that on tube feeding already. Today's topic. I saw your message disappear, Joe. I'm gonna get the brightest minds in medicine to turn my liquid New York City kicks into the first ever injectable pizza. The croissant fact is true, Melt. You can research it. That's hilarious. I'm excited to announce the ever New York City pizza facial moisturizer. When you were beautiful, points to self. I was more pointing at Joe in that moment. Pretty privilege is real. It is how it is. It's clear that it's important to people. You can't overgeneralize. It's important to some people. True. Might not be important to all people. But I also think it's one of those things where we don't know, right? Like the position that we're in shapes our perspective. You know, as you said, like says more about yourself as it does about the world. Yourself is who it is and exists in the way that it does and has been shaped by that existence, right? Like it's the whole nurture versus nature debate all over again. Agree, Joe. Like some people are wasting their lives. Others are coming up with great new products like New York City Kicks facial pizza moisturizer. Generalizing is what our brains do to make the mind what it is. Hoopty hoops, sharing some good fractals. Jack Black, however, has a beautiful soul and never let his lack of conventional attractiveness hold him back from his charming expression, and people value that. I find Jack Black attractive, right? I'm not gay, but still, there is nothing in my mind wrong about the way that he presents himself in the world, right? Like he does have an aesthetic to him as well. I missed the topic. It's okay. I did say the macaroni dance. There it is. I have found that when I see something that is unattractive about myself, I find the opposite things attractive about other people. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm not exactly sure what you mean, Tomakarm. Unattractive about yourself, you find the opposite thing attractive in other people. So, like, I find my own nose unattractive, so I find a person's attractive nose attractive. I'm not exactly sure. One of my member perks is being able to play where you say, I'm scared I'll lose my optimism. Yeah, I am. Hoopy. And like, it's messages like, your purpose is stupid. And that can like, maybe like hit hit up against that optimism of mine. However, the strength that I maintain is the version of me that's like, oh yeah, stupid. My siblings were also like that, Hoopy. They also told me that this is a waste of my time. However, wasting my time in this way has gotten me to this place that I find myself within, right? And I would rather be here than anywhere else. So clearly, this is my purpose, all right? And if doing what is smart would have been studying to become a chemical engineer, right? That's what they were trying to push me towards. You're supposed to be a chemical engineer. And I would be in a lab right now, working with chemicals, probably shortening my lifespan because I'm constantly exposed to chemicals, right? That would have been my existence, the smart existence, right? So living the stupid life clearly seems to be serving me, right? I get to actually show up for what I want to show up for. Mojo is here with us too. Hey Mojo, we got Milka Dravosky. Thank you for joining us as well. Conventional. This standard of aesthetic attractiveness doesn't apply to Jack Black. He's attractive, not based on looks. But even based on looks, he is attractive, right? Even based on looks. He might be a little bit overweight, but he still has attractive eyes. He still has an attractive smile. All right, that part is still true. That part is still true. For example, I have a big nose. I tend to find people with small noses attractive. There we go, Tomo. Yeah, I think I didn't understand what you said. I would absolutely be better. It would absolutely be better with arranged marriages. I think our divorce and domestic violence rates speaks to that. But whatever. I'm not here to argue the point. I mean, I don't know if you know, but when arranged marriages were still a thing, divorce wasn't allowed, and domestic violence was very common. Very, very common. Domestic violence was way more common back then than it is right now, Dan, with arranged marriages. Because again, right, there's no out of it. You're forced into it. You probably, during those arranged marriage days, weren't even allowed your own bank account. So even if your husband was beating you, if you leave him, you're out in the streets. You don't have food to eat anymore. All right, so that system begets a lot more harm than the system that we're in right now. The reason people are getting divorced is because they have other options. They do get to live their own lives, right? And some of the highest domestic violence rates in the world is, like in South Africa. I don't know if you know this, Dan. In South Africa, arranged marriage is still a very big thing. And if you go and look at the statistics, some of the highest domestic violence rates is in South Africa, where there's arranged marriage. So, like, you can try and argue the point, but you just have to go and look at the statistics. Like, again, these conversations are very like good for like ChatGPT. It's like, ask, do you think, GPT, that going back to a system of arranged marriages would drop the amount of domestic violence, right? No, it wouldn't. Definitely not, unfortunately. No, go check. Divorce rate is lower in countries that have arranged marriages. Yeah, again, because in arranged marriage countries, divorce is something that is frowned upon as a society. Like, you're not allowed to do that, right? It's like the you're putting the carriage in front of the horse kind of thing with that kind of logic. I miss South Africa. South Africa is a good place. We'll go back there at some point as well. There will be more good stuff to share from that world as well. But we are going to be locking in for maybe a decade, maybe a few decades of America a little bit. What if you made an apple pie again and used different ingredients and a different kitchen? I made my mom's oatmeal cookies again, using different ingredients and a different kitchen. And it still ended up delicious. Professor Melt, let's be real. You be trying to make in your lab. You can take the melt out of the live stream, but you can't take the live streamer out of the melt. Yeah, exactly, dude. That's how it be. Relentlessly optimistic. I'll continue forward. Even if the internet explodes, I'll still show up the way that I have. I care about Joe's beauty as well, Meld. After learning she suffers from dry skin, I've decided to offer y'all a lifetime supply of New York City Kicks facial moisturizer. Thank you, Dan. You're such a nice guy, dude. You're so nice. You can bring Steve Buscemi. We can bring Steve Buscemi into the mix. It's also because they don't believe in divorce. Exactly. Lol, Dan. That's what I use Swaggart for. Yes, Ahmed, that was my point. I was arguing in favor of arranged marriages. I insert supportive comment here. Thank you for your supportive comment, Hoopy. Appreciate it. Why don't you ask GPT and tell us? Sure. Sure, Ahmed. Let's have that conversation. Hmm. Me and some friends are having some civil disagreements about arranged marriages. One of our friends is positing that we should bring arranged marriage back because that will drop the rates of domestic violence and divorce. Looking at the historical statistics, were people abused more in arranged marriages or less? And if we had to bring back arranged marriages into our society, would that make things better for everybody involved? Heavy, nuanced topic that relies on critical distinction. The difference between low statistical rate and the actual occurrence of behavior. The myth of lower domestic violence. Historically and globally, arranged marriages do not correlate with lower rates of domestic violence. In fact, in regions where arranged marriages remain a cultural norm, the reports are incredibly high rates of intimate partner violence. That's what I said, because it's obvious. You don't have to be a rocket science, like the rocket scientist to know that. The reality of the data. In modern global studies by organizations like the World Health Organization, regions with high rates of arranged marriages like South Asia, the Middle East, and Sub-Saharan Africa, where I'm from, such as Sub-Saharan Africa, frequently show lifetime intimate partner violence prevalence rates for women ranging from 30 to 50%. You're 1 in 3 to 1 in 2 likely to get domestic violence, right? In those countries where I'm from. Ask me how I know. I've heard about this my entire life. It's one of the things that they try to abolish, the arranged marriages. Because again, if you get a wife because of your dad and their dad, you don't care about that person. So you're willing to beat them if they're not conforming to the hierarchy, to respecting you because you're their husband, not because they chose you as a partner, because that's who they have to be, right? Historical context. Historically, under traditional arranged marriage systems, the legal and social framework treated women as legal dependents of their husbands, or even the property thereof. Domestic abuse wasn't lower, it was culturally normalized, legally permissible, and completely undocumented. So, yeah, obviously, obvious. You have to not pay attention to why people get domestic violence to not understand that that is absolutely what's going to happen. Right? Like it's not that hard to think about. It's like yeah, makes sense. Makes sense that people would hurt each other more if they weren't choosing each other. I do hope you're trolling, Dan, because it's like very very easy to disprove these kind of like conclusions we come to sometimes. There we go. Melt is correct on the arranged marriages. Thank you, Prairie Wolf. I value the feminine perspective in this a lot more because, again, I'm sure for the average man that doesn't or has trouble maybe like finding a partner, the idea of having an arranged marriage sounds great. However, for the average woman, oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. There's very few drownings in the desert. True. So we can all have the same POV. There you go, Ahmed. 30 to 50%. And I'm sure of that, right? I'm pretty sure that that statistic is probably even higher because that's just the reported. That's just the reported numbers. Then we're about to be slicker than the greasy spoon, Joe, because we're loading you up with moisturizer. I think Dan is trolling on the whole arranged marriage stuff. I do think so as well. I think maybe it's just like having some fun with it. What about the crime rates and cheating rate? Why is it lower in Islam countries? Because in Islam countries, you kill people for doing stuff like that, right? Where in Western society, we don't do that. We're like not killing people for cheating, which is like, I mean, I think that's better, personally. I would hate to be cheated on. However, killing a person is not okay, ever. Then, if you're not trolling, this is too much work to get a woman, bro. Just get a dating app. Noodles hair. Yeah, Logan. Got noodles hair. Delicious. Parkway, I am 100% serious. I could not be more serious. I think Western society would benefit from arranged marriage. It would not. Not even a little bit. Love to y'all. Heading out. Love to you, Zhao. Well, this is easy then. You're wrong. Parkway. Get a dating app. You're telling me to get a dating app. Oh, my naive friend. Yeah, it's not going to be any easier. The divorce rates and domestic violence rates would suggest that you were wrong, Parkway. However, I did say I'm not here to argue the point, didn't I? Jordan Peterson said, not arranged marriages, but enforced monogamies is what shifted so drastically in our culture. Arranged marriage is anti-Western ideals. You don't have an argument when you're talking about arranged marriages. Melt already addressed your point about divorce rates. Parkway, there's no way to debate. Yep, property. Let's see them as property, literally, right? You were arranged. Like, you don't have a choice. You get given to a man like piece of property in arranged marriages, which is not okay in any way, shape, or form. I have my opinions on the subject. I'm not interested in debating with you. Is that more clear? We're on the same page now. The rule of thumb is based entirely on this concept. Yeah. That GPT is paid. Of course, you're like, yeah, ask GPT. And then GPT is like, yeah, checks out. If you look at global statistics, it's true that it would cause more harm. And then you're like, no, it's paid. It's just making up information, right? It's not like I grew up in a society where this was the case, right? Again, go and look at it. South Africa is bad, really bad for domestic violence. Not debating. Yeah, agreed. Love is true. Stop your attempts to colonize Ahmed. We're talking about integrity. It doesn't get reported. You are an Australian guy, or that's what you're looking like. Is that so, mate? I'm not Australian. I'll let you know. I'm actually South African. This is an opinion, Parkway. I have mine, you have yours. If you choose to try to force a debate or call my opinion stupid again, I will delete your comments. You've been warned. All right. I think it's time. Bro, you hit 2K subs. I did. Recently hit 2K subs. We're now pushing towards 3,000. 3,000 by end of year. Manifest. 3,000 subs coming up soon. And then 10,000 subs by end of next year. And then 1 trillion subs. Because we're going to go interdimensional. All right, it's going to be 2027. And then I'm going to start broadcasting to the alien species as well. All right, suddenly go 1 trillion. What changed in our culture, Tomo, I'm feeling into this, is that we have access to more fish. Because of social media, we don't feel as compelled to work on our relationships. We just move on to the next one that bites your hook. This is true as well, right? It's not the problem with like finding a partner. That is the problem. Is the willingness to give up on a partnership as soon as it's no longer comfortable to continue it, kind of thing. The integrity, right, is a little bit harder to maintain. I like the way you handle conversation. I'm trying to do my best, right? Especially when things get a little bit heated. It's not always easy to remain stable. You have the illusion that you have access to more fish. Yes, you're completely right on that, Lone Buffalo. It is an illusion in that way as well. Congratulations, Mel. Thank you, Perry Wolf, showing up on the other side. You actually have less access because you're not actually meeting any of those people. Yeah. Within relativity, it's almost like people are more willing to engage online with a bunch of people, send direct messages, creating the illusion that they have a bunch of options. But their willingness to actually go out and meet actual people has dropped significantly, which means that their likelihood of finding themselves a long term partnership has been reduced overall. Bro, you ignored. No, I didn't. Kid D, you said that I reached 2,000 subs. Oh, which club are we rocking to celebrate 2K? I don't really go to clubs. Uh, my favorite club is bedtime, right? It's basically this nice place that's completely dark. There's not a sound, and then it's like what they call a bed and a pillow, and then I party all night with my eyes closed. You know, sometimes I'll make like a little bit. That's my idea of a good night. I love partying in bed like that every night. Home Depot. Holy moly, you're still alive. We're still alive, Nancy. We're pushing. Today we're pushing it. We're going for a long time. Would you live in a country who let the killer live the rest of his life? Ahmed, I live in a country where we don't kill people for cheating, all right? And sometimes we shouldn't kill people for being criminals either, right? Like killing a person for being a criminal only takes away from the world, right? It takes away from them the possibility that they may change as well. So yes, I would rather live in this country. Yeah, absolutely. I hate that club. Who sleeps in 2026? Me, dude. I love. I love getting good sleep, dude. That's literally the best thing that you can do for yourself. Period. Right? Second best thing you can do for yourself is exercise. Third best thing you can do for yourself is eat whole foods. Right? And if you can do all three of those, damn, you're gonna live a good life. I promise. Sleep is for the rich. No, it's not, dude. Sleep is free. Sleep is completely free. If you fall in love with a voice assistant that has a woman's voice but was programmed by a team of all male engineers, does that count as emotional cheating? Yeah, that's hilarious. I want to see the chicken dance tomorrow and tunak tunak tun. You'll have to remind me tomorrow. Uh, I'll see if I can get there, Lone Buffalo. Tomorrow we will be dancing. I think I gave myself some shin splints the last time I danced. My leg is still actively recovering. I'm hurting, bro. Like, I see. I danced too hard the last time, so maybe I do need to take it easy. Compelling stuff. That's why I'm still here. Thank you, Tomo, for joining us, despite the nature of some of the conversations we've had today. I do think it's important, right? Like, it's something that is going to influence our existence, even if it does maybe like seem like a kind of perpetuating, right, of the problems we seem to be facing. The problems are going to still be there, right, whether we face them or not. It's not a problem, it's a challenge. It's a line I saw yesterday. It's not a problem, it's a challenge. You know? It definitely is a challenge. Are you not dancing today? You're getting close, Yashi. Tomorrow is dance day. Tomorrow we'll dance. Good morning, my friend. Typical Tiffany. Good morning to you, dear friend. It's nice having you here with us too. Yeah, man. I got shin problems from kicking. Yeah. I don't have any shin problems from kicking, but I stomped really hard and my legs are hurting a little bit. It's actually just this leg. This left leg is the one that's hurting. Love the challenge quote. Saved. It's not a problem, it's a challenge. It is actually a line that was said in jest, right? About the society where happiness is mandatory. Everybody has to work 20 hours a day, 7 days a week. Uh, they pay most of their salary for their living space. Like, it's kind of grim, right? And then the end of it is like, it's not a problem, it's a challenge. And it is kind of like that sometimes, right? It's this weird dichotomy of like, that is the situation we find ourselves in. We do find ourselves as a society with many problems. I think the biggest amongst them is the amount of importance we place on aesthetics alone. And I think that's what Jo was trying to like share with her perspective as well. Maybe she felt that in me talking about this today, we were perpetuating the fact that that is how it is, or maybe me believing that it is that way is making it so. However, I don't know if believing it isn't so makes it any less so, right? And I think that's the big kind of like journey that I'm trying to have with myself, is trying to learn how I'm supposed to be in this world. I can't change the way that I look, not ultimately, right? I'm still going to look this way tomorrow as well. I'm still going to have to prioritize in some way or another my appearance because I am putting myself online, right? The nature of my work is to be presentable, right? Like a news anchor, right? Like, you're going to be putting yourself on the screen. People are going to be looking at you with that extra layer of potential judgment. And I think maybe my existence is definitely a lot more shaped by it, right? But Jo built herself a life based on skill. She learned how to use software, and she's a graphic designer, right? She knows how to put elements together in a way that it's aesthetically pleasing, right? It might not be physical appearance, but it's still a kind of aesthetic, right? And she is what's the word I'm looking for? Steered by, directed by the aesthetics of the company that she works for, right? Where there are people that have aesthetic preferences, and they are the ones that get to decide which things do go out and which things don't. And again, it's like the world does have that judgmental eye, right? And we're now getting better and better with our sophisticated machines and our analyzing to be able to understand, right, what people value and what people don't, what people are gravitating towards and what they're not, what people are willing to pay money for and what they are not, right? Like, it's a wealth extraction thing. Is that what's important? I think that's the real question we should be asking ourselves. Tune in tomorrow morning, Sadia. We're gonna be dancing. I never saw you dancing. You'll see me dance tomorrow, friend. I'll dance a lot. I'm very unsocial. Whenever I meet any stranger or our nearest ones, they start to hate me. What do I have to do? Maybe become very curious about the other people, right? Grow very curious. That's the best thing that you can do. Be curious. Ask them questions about themselves, right? If you tell people through your actions, through your questions, that they are important, that you are curious about their journey, about how they became who they are, they will like you more for it automatically. Maybe it sounds like manipulation, but apparently all language is. Never saw you dancing. Where are you from? South Africa. Tune in tomorrow. One of the ways you blocked a cake, it's called a check. It usually means you're using your shin or your knee to block the kid or the kick. Someone did that to me a few years ago, and my shin hasn't felt the same. Jeez. Please say hi, man. Hello, Rupa. Hello to you. You're using stats from thousands of years of patriarchal violence in society. I'm talking about having elders play the role of matchmaking in communities. Who are these elders? That's the thing. I'm willing to have this conversation with you, Dan, but I don't trust anyone. We can barely trust ourselves with like knowing who we want to be with. Never mind even trusting another person, right? And how do we choose? How do we choose those people put in those positions? And how do we know that they know what they're talking about as well? There's wildly different concepts, which is why I didn't want to debate it here. It's nothing, something you can discuss in a 180 character limit. I hear you, Dan. Dan, don't elders do matchmaking in India? Maybe they don't do that anymore. I don't know. We're just talking past each other completely. Totally different concepts, but go on, go ahead. I've actually like kind of dropped the topic in the same way, Dan. You are bringing it back into this mental space. I have completely moved past it. I don't know, right? I got lucky in showing up for my community to have one of the members of said community reach out to me. And then we built a friendship, and then that friendship developed into a romantic partnership, right? But the guidance that I needed came from spending a lot of time just communicating, right? Like testing our weights and balances against each other's before we ever came together as a partnership, right? Or an intimacy. And I feel like that's what we need more of. The big problem is instant gratification with our world, right? And unfortunately, arranged marriage sounds like a kind of instant gratification as well to me personally. It just feels like another type of instant gratification. Like instead of having to work, to build a meaningful relationship with this person, we'll just have somebody else arrange us to be married, right? So we can instantly have that gratification of now having been married. Where I don't think that that's the way either, unfortunately. I guess you could work on a marriage after you have been arranged to be married to one another, but that work can be done before you ever get married, right? And again, the real deciding factor is if that person is willing to do that work for you and with you or not. They do, Nancy, but it all exists in an aggressively patriarchal framework. Sir, can you tell about the friend zone? And what is your perspective on how they can distract us from our goal, even when we think hanging out will reduce our stress? But even we don't notice, we waste a lot of time. Well, I think you've heard my perspective, right? Like the friend zone is where everything is supposed to start. Like, sure, it can be fun for things to take on a quality of romance right from the start. However, the problem is that if it's only romance, we can basically only base that on, again, how attractive or unattractive the person is. That's kind of like what today's stream topic has been kind of discussing. It's the matter of aesthetics, right? If that's the only thing that you're applying your integrity within, you're probably going to end up with bad outcomes. If you have elders who give you a list of good partners and you choose or not choose to go with their options, it would be a good thing, IMO. Again, how are these elders going to know people in my age group, right? How are people, because again, elders usually spend time amongst themselves. Maybe they'll try and give me their daughter. That's the thing, right? Maybe they'll have bias. Maybe they really like me, Dan. They're like, yeah, Melt's a great guy, and I want him to be a part of my family. So I'm gonna push my daughter. I don't think that she's really the perfect partner for him, but I really like him. So yeah, marry my daughter. My daughter's the best. And then, the other elder does the same thing. All right. And now there's a competition. It's like, I don't know, bro. I think the complexity instantly just absolutely kind of like gets, out of hand. Mm-mm-mm. It's all a matter of opinion. Yep. To be fair to all in chat, Melt often catches up on our comments after he's moved on to a different topic. Also true, Nanshi. It is a hard balance to maintain. I try to read every single one of the comments, right? Because I do value your friends' input. But at the same time, I value your input enough to want to give you a response. And then after I've given the response, after I've talked about the thing that I've talked about, you might be replying to the things I'm saying. And then by the time we've said, my bit, we're coming back to it. And I'm willing sometimes to kind of like rehash stuff as well. It is a hard job, to try and like keep everybody happy, make everybody feel seen. Because I do value you, friends, and I do want you to feel like your opinions are appreciated and considered, even if I don't agree. And I'll let you know if I don't agree. Like, you friends know that about me at least as well. One of the first things that Dan said about me that I remember him saying is that I'm based, right? That I'll say things as they are. I don't tend to sugarcoat to make sure that somebody likes me, or like, I'll just say it as it is, or at least at the very least as I see it, right? You're looking for a third. I'm down. Your voice. Let me be clear. I don't know if that clarity necessarily creates any good interaction. Are you vegetarian or non-vegetarian? Non-vegetarian. Namaste, Sonia. Shanti, shanti, shanti. Peace be upon us. Yeah, that's nice. I'm gonna clear my whole psychic field even. Ooh. No goosebumps? It came for a second. Yeah. This is a Truman Show flipped inside out. Yeah, it kind of does have that quality. Double input. So what's stream about? Demos. Today's stream has been about integrity, right? And it did kind of take the shape of talking about societal expectations as it surrounds aesthetics. How what you look like has become something that almost shapes the integrity that you'll experience from the world, will even shape people's interpretation of the integrity that you have, right? There's something called the halo effect, where an attractive person can be considered more competent than an unattractive person. Even if the unattractive person has all of the skills, have spent way more time getting good than the unattractive person, or than the attractive person, the attractive person will still be taken into higher regard simply because of how they look. And I don't think that is a very integral way to approach our systems, right? And it has been like a curiosity we've explored today, and it definitely is a sensitive one, right? I think it can definitely elicit a certain emotional response in the person, because it's not necessarily something that we, I think, want to believe or want to really consider in the way that it becomes the truth of the matter, right? Because it feels a little bit limiting, I imagine, right? It feels limiting to me, definitely in the way that I've experienced life. I wish it wasn't always that way. Stream is about how many colorful outfits Melt can wear every day. I can definitely be a part of it. Yeah. Remaining calm. Stream is about remaining calm. And I feel I have. There has been some disagreements. There has been some difference in perspective. And still, the thing that's important is our willingness to show up in this space day after day. Right? Because whether we fight or not, whether we're hot or not, whether we have everything going for us or nothing at all, if you're willing to show up in this space, you are worthy of love, right? Even the people that show up with hatred, right? I can sometimes push back, right? But that is still for me an act of love, right? Indifference, complete indifference is the opposite of love. When you completely separate yourself from any care whatsoever, that is not love, right? And again, there is a kind of maintaining, a balancing act that needs to be had when you're showing up in this way. Because if I let myself be open to everything as it's coming into chat, I definitely will have my mind shaped. And one of the biggest things, for example, is the fact that I have a physical appearance, right? Would I be better off being a VTuber, just using my voice, playing games as an anime character? People will probably judge that as well, right? I don't think there's any way around it. I think that's the biggest thing that I've been trying to work on, right? How can I remain stable despite all of these unstabilizing forces? Sounds good and crunchy. Not too good today. I don't have as much cream in my coffee as I usually do. So it's extra acidic. But I am enjoying it nonetheless. I'm making the most of it. There are people who have shared the space and chat with me, Parkway, for literally 5 years, who would not presume to know me as well as you do. I think today's projection then came from the arranged marriage thing, and then the unwillingness to have a conversation about it or debate about it. I believe that combat journeys, at least from what I've seen, way of showing up is in almost like maybe sometimes enjoying even the combativeness that can come with the difference in perspective, right? The willingness to have the debate, to this is my bit, I'm willing to hear your bit. And then the other person says their bit, and then he's willing to say his bit again. And some people don't want to debate. Some people have come to the conclusions that they believe, and they are comfortable holding on to that conclusion, right? They don't want that taken. It's not up for debate, that conclusion that they've come to. And I think that's what, at least in my perspective, right? If I have to play devil's advocate or try and be a mediator here, I think that's the projection that happened here, where he sees you being unwilling to have that perspective challenged. And I think that's the big thing. HTO in the morning, water is definitely bitter. Yeah. Take a deep, long breath. Sigh out all of the spent and stagnant energy that you have gathered in your heart and soul. Let it go. Let it go. It's Angela from Italy again. I'm going to work, but I wish you a beautiful day. Good day for you. It is card time indeed, Prairie Wolf. What are you talking about? Ever since I got in here, Dan has cried. Yeah, that's a big thing. Yeah. You know nothing, Jon Snow. Tell me about it, bro. I am actively reminded every day how little I know. But I don't let that stop me. That's the important part. Don't let it stop you. Even if you know nothing, don't let it stop you. Right? Show up for love anyway. It's time to finish my coffee. It's almost 12. Wow! I'm gonna get heated. When Bodanius. Did you say something, Tomo? Where are you from, JK? I'm just trolling. Melt, you're wise. Prairie Wolf. I appreciate you saying that. I don't always believe it, right? Because if I was wise, I sometimes imagine myself having only the most excellent words, saying only the most excellent things, right? And everybody in unison nods their heads in agreement with how wise I am. However, I am willing to admit that I don't have all the answers, and that I sometimes say things that can be interpreted as an attack, can be interpreted as, like, I'm thinking about Joe. I'm looking forward to her being back home and us having the conversation, because I didn't mean for her to feel like I was saying that she's not been paying attention. I was just trying to say, from my perspective, having paid attention, right, just to what people say to me, that it's important to other people what I look like. It's never been important to me, all right? When I go out and I sit on the rocks don't judge me. The rocks, the earth itself, the world itself doesn't judge me for what I look like, right? Looking at the stars don't reflect upon me, wow, I like your nose, Melt. No, the stars just are, you know? However, the world as it relates to people do. That's what I've noticed with my personal perspective, right? And again, because of the nature of my work, I have to put myself in front of people. Well, have to sounds like I'm obligated, right? I do put myself in front of people, and I know, without a shadow of a doubt, for a fact, people will judge me, right? Good or bad, for what I look like. That is just the nature of this work. And it's not something I'm sad about, but it is something that I'm aware of. And it is something that I'm wondering if there's room for change. That was today's conversation for me, right? Is there room for change in that? Is it possible for us to evolve past it? What will the evolution past that way of showing up in the world look like? Will it look like having more control over our own avatars? Like being able to, with more degrees of sophistication, control the way we are perceived to the point where it ceases to be important, right? It becomes a matter of aesthetic expression instead of aesthetic judgment, right? Like if someone wants to wear eyeliner, we can ask them about it. Like, you know, why wear eyeliner? Instead of like, oh, you look good or you look bad in eyeliner. But I don't know. I don't know if we can get there, right? It's not something I have like a lot of judgment in myself for, because again, I imagine the divinity of the individual is the fact that you are experiencing, right? You can sit on the rocks alongside me and appreciate the beauty thereof just as much as I can. Tarot cards? No. These are sacred geometry cards. No, I'm not doing that. I shouldn't have shared the opinion. I didn't want the debate that followed, but it's a controversial subject that begets discussion. Fair enough. That's on me. That's wisdom. Dan man, that is wisdom. And I think it's important for us to realize that. And it's not a matter of like saying you're not allowed to have these opinions, but it is as you said, right? Like if someone comes into chat and says we need to go back to having a ethno-Christian state, right, where the government forces everybody to be Christians, and then alongside that we can have arranged marriages in our individual churches, right? Like you're going to get pushback. Like saying something like that is going to elicit a response because you are alienating a lot of people, right? And the arranged marriage thing, It's kind of like that as well. I appreciate you being willing to say that, dude. That is wise. However, I do not accept the character judgments or personal attacks from anyone, including, Parkway. Agreed. That is all. Thanks, friends. And I agree with you on that. Dan, I completely agree, right? Having our character attacked, being made out to be one way when we are so much more than just the few lines of text that we write in a stream chat, it can be very disheartening. And I think that is what our stream topic was about, right? It's still a kind of aesthetic thing, right? The aesthetics, there's a certain aesthetic to glamorizing arranged marriages, right? To imagine it just like being all perfect, and coming together, and then just like we're gonna like work on this together because there's wisdom beyond our years that have helped us come together with one another, like, and they know us maybe better than we know ourselves, kind of things. Like there is still, I see potentially the perspective that you're sharing, but there's so much nuance to it that it only allows almost for like, conversations to arise. I said wise beyond your years, not a cult leader. Lol. Love you, Prairie Wolf. Get over it. Yeah. If someone wants to wear eyeliner, I wouldn't care. Agreed. Right? One of these days, I'll show up with eyeliner. Maybe on like Halloween or something. I look at the stars. They look at you. They reflect you, but they don't judge you. Then integrate a rule into your life. Never argue with people on the internet. I just said I don't want to debate though. Yeah, it's true. A debate ensued anyway. Speak your opinions, but you don't have to justify yourself to anyone but God, especially on the rando on the YouTubes. That's fair, buff. Yeah. What do you do, bro? I do whatever I want. How about that? Yeah. And right now, I'm going to pull a card. As soon as someone says stop in chat, I will do so. I will stop this card. We got silly two-time creature. Hello. Hello to you, friend. Hello indeed. It's nice having you here with us too. Stop. Yes. You have activated my trap card. Interesting. Pulling the spiraling into love card again. That is what we're trying to do in this moment, after all. Stop and chat. Help! It's too damn hot. I'm so sorry, dear friend. Drink some water. Stay in the shade if you can. I hope you find relief. Oh snap, it's the cards. We pulled the spiraling into love card. Spiraling into love instead of debate. Right? Why are you so diva-ish though? I am in tune with my femininity. Happy to be myself. Oh yes, today's my birthday. Texting himbo, it is Tuesday. Happy birthday, dear friend. Super happy birthday to you. It's nice for you to join us and celebrate. Wait, is this my card? Yes, this is the card that you summoned into this chat today. I'm currently in my room. Good. You playing cards? No, this is not playing cards. Can you tell my job in the future? I'm from India. Your job is life fulfilling, appreciated by your community, and helping to change the world for the better. May it be beautiful, friend. You have 2 smartwatches. This is a smartwatch. This is a Whoop. There's no screen on it. It's just a data tracker. It tracks my data. Melt is not a diva. Devas are melts. Yeah, I just subbed. Thank you, Yaz. We love you, bro. Oh, we hear you. Doesn't help my mom put double thick mattress covers that are for winter, not summer. Don't, like, if you're hot, Don't be under the double thick mattress covers, right? Try and be on top of them. You know, it could be a good place to start. Silly two-time creature. Spiraling into love. Card 44. What an apt card for today's stream. We haven't been talking about love quite as much. We've talked about the external, almost like aesthetics, right? That begets love sometimes. Not so much the actual love that is existing in relationships afterwards. Your accent low-key attractive. I don't know. I have no idea. I think it's probably novelty, right? Human beings do find themselves attracted to that which is different, like a genetic diversity thing. Maybe you like me because I sound different to those that you've heard before. The cards have spoken. Full deck. Yeah, spiral into love, damn it. Brother, are you sure these cards work? My brother, these cards are not for predicting the future. I was just envisioning, manifesting with you the best outcome for your future. Intimacy and communication. One more time. You see those DNA spirals? Two people in an embrace. The stars reflecting in the background. I'm Australian, so yeah, that's why any other accent is attractive. I'm South African originally. I now live in America. Intimacy and communication. One more time, and then I'll read for you. The spiral helix of our DNA whirls around this sacred couple and quickens communication of their intimacy. Human DNA helps us connect to the web of creation. It holds ancestral knowledge as well as future potential in a vast library of information. Also, whirling around this couple are spirals of possibility that they have only to recognize in order to activate. As they experience both human sexuality and universal love, this information stimulates their conscious decision to communicate with genuine intimacy. There are many styles of communication. Simple words may be effective for making a statement or providing instructions. However, when concepts and emotions enter the exchange, words often fail to convey the message intended. This card asks you to view the way that you communicate. Do you speak from your heart with respect and sincerity? Do you truly listen to the people with whom you are speaking? Resolve to look into the eyes of the person with whom you communicate and see, recognize the marvelous being that stands or sits before you. Observe both your own and the other's body language and feel their essence. Listen with discernment. Before you respond, formulate your words as if they are prayers wanting to be shared. Formulate your words as if they are prayers wanting to be shared. With gentle grace and positive intent, speak your truth in the most intimate way you are able. We pulled this card upside down as well, and the upside down meaning goes as such. You may be wrapped up in your own story, or you may feel misunderstood. Do your best to step out of your ego and gently speak your truth. Damn. Hot damn! The universe is aware of this chat today, isn't it? Always like that, dear friends. What a pleasure it was. I think a bunch of comments were Shen. New here. What are we working with here? This is a sacred geometry deck for the visionary path. It's calls to awareness. right? The reverse meaning being like the exact call to awareness we needed today. I feel a little bit misunderstood. And it's my ego, right? It's my ego that's the one that takes issue with it. I can gently speak my truth, right? The truth doesn't need you to defend it. That's the big thing. Yeah, I always wanted to go to the UK and see if the girls like my accent. It's a double helix. I don't know why they don't call it that. Yeah, maybe they have their own perceptions of what it should be. Do they like the accent? Australian accents are my favorite. There you go. Tamakarm. Letting you know, yes. Aussie accents are really funny. Bro's accent is giving. Wet pad story. I don't know what that means. I like the Russian accent on the girls when they're very stoic. I'll take that back. Lama. Italian accents. Gotta go. Bye, MeltMore. Love to you, Nancy Fran. Thank you for joining me again. What a lovely card for today, isn't it? It's okay to be misunderstood. Step out of your ego and gently speak your truth. Yeah. Love is true. Prime Gamer, love to you, friend. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for all of the subscriptions to the new friends who have joined us. Love the shirt too, buddy. Thank you. It's a gift from my mom. I dated an Aussie. Instead of no, she'd say nar. Nar, mate. I ain't gonna have any of them, anything else than Barbie or something like that. I'm so sorry, yes. Don't hate me. I love Australians. Why is that a thing? People like joking, all right, and poking fun of each other. Love is true. Thank you, friends, for joining me today. Australian accents are some of the funniest. I mean, how many R's are in the word? So I thought it was 0. The Barbie starts crying. I'm sorry, yes, mate, or something. Oh, mate, don't just start with me now. I can't do an Australian accent. I need to stop. Ek is Afrikaans. So ek kan tegnies aan die taal praat. Dis waar my accent vandaan kom. I appreciate you, friend, for joining me today. Thanks. You be good now, okay? You go love yourself, spiral into love deeper and deeper. And everything we say, water. Give me, like that's the British one. Give me a bottle of water. So I'm gonna stop it. Stop myself. Having too much fun on this. Love is true. You ever look up Donnie from the Wild Thornberries? I haven't. Let me do it right now. Lone Buffalo, I'll give you what you wish for, oh. I'll give you what you wish. Donnie from the Wild Thornberries. And Donnie from the Wild Thornberries. They say nar. Hey, Uvan. Urvashida Yohori. Bless you, friend. Hello to you. Thank you for joining us. Love, true, pure and whole. Donnie is voiced by Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Okay, I do know Donnie from the Wild Thornberries. I do know the Wild Thornberries. Yes, this is exactly who I am. Like, this is me. It's so funny that you compare me to this character as well, because I have like resonated with this character since I was a young kid. Like, I have resonated a lot. Yep. Melt be like, man, there it is. Boom. Yeah. This is what Donnie looks like after he grew up eventually. After long last. I appreciate you, friends, for joining me. He's speaking in reverse. Nah, because I'm actually getting so confused with how we say it. Are they in Australia? One day, all of us will be. That's you speaking Afrikaans. It is. Ek kan Afrikaans praat. Partykeer. All right. He's not feral. He's just South African. What's the Yoruba behind them? It's easy to resonate with yourself. Yeah. the truth of the matter is, love is. It has been, we showed up for it, and we'll do so again tomorrow. You got a good homie, sir. You got a good home, sir? It's true. Thank you for joining me in it. It was nice having you friends here. I'm looking forward to my wife coming through that doorway any second now. Literally, she should be back home soon. It's like me looking at a baby picture of myself and being like, I resonate with this person. Hey, yo. I'll come that journeys you back. Oops. Parkway, do you need a hug? All of us can use a hug. How's it going? How's it going? What's up? Away? Lekker. See you again soon, friends. Goodbye for now, okay? I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers. Peace. Love ya.